Alright, so what we have here is the imported rhino sheet that was made out of, that was exported as an STL file, an SAT file, and imported in as a mass family. So it's basically here to trace. And what we're going to want to do, there's probably a few different ways to make this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an adaptive point family so we can make frames underneath each of these panels and make a space frame that would support this. So to do that, we're going to make a new family. And what we're going to make is a generic model with adaptive points. And here, what we'll do is we'll draw 3 points because each of those are a triangle. So we're going to start with 3 points. I'm going to make them adaptive. And I'm going to draw a reference line between them. Make sure your 3D snapping is turned on here. Alright, so I'm then going to make a tube, but the trick for making these tubes that would actually work with this is to make one tube on each one of these pieces, because if I join them together and any of this triangle comes to a sharp point, they're going to project out in a very strange way. So I'm going to set my work plane to be the bottom of this piece, this reference line. Just place a point on there so it's stuck to it. And I'm going to do that for each of these. The reason why you want to do that is when you place these families, these points could move. And you want to make sure you get it on the reference plane so that they stick on the reference plane correctly. This one's being a pain. Let me grab my vertical. Yeah, let's move it. No, it will not. Let me grab the vertical to be an example. So for each one of these points, I'm going to set the vertical reference plane so I can draw a circle. And I'm going to make a new parameter for its radius. Alright, and I'm going to do that for each one of these. I'm going to time all that same parameter. Again, that's not the size we want, but we're just making the parameter. Alright, so now, for one, I can come up here and make my tube radius something more reasonable, like 4 inches. And we'll see all those shrink down the way they're supposed to. And now what I'm going to do is for each one of these tubes, I'm going to select both. And what I want to do is tab and just select the reference line that it's on and grab that shape, the circle, make it into a tube. And I'm going to do that for each of these. Again, you have to do this. You can't set these circles on any of the adaptive points because it loses its mind if anything moves. And it will move once you actually place it in a project. So what this does is it creates these butt joints on the end. And the reason why I'm doing this is because if I made all of this as one, that we could have just done one of these circles and selected all the lines and swept it. But it really makes these crazy points at the end that would not be very accurate for a space frame-like structure. Alright, so now, just a test, we should be able to move these things without anything breaking. It's looking right. course, let me grab the top. So what we will do is now save this as something. And I'm going to load it into that project. Right away it wants to place it. That's fine. But I want to get to an actual 3D view. So I'm in wireframe so I can see all my points. And the way these get placed is in the order that we created those adaptive points. We go 1, 2, and 3. And now, let's see, if there is that tube there. So what you can then do, still in wireframe, you can keep placing more of them. I'm going to select it, create similar. I'm going to try to keep the same order of placing the points, just in case in the future I change some of the settings of this family. It's good to have them all drawn in a similar fashion. So, yeah, and you can see there's a frame underneath that. And I can even add in one on the end. So what I'm doing is I'm right-clicking and doing create similar rather than going and finding the family and dragging it in. I can even make an end frame with that. And what that lets you do is then you can come in, once all this is done, and you can make a proper roof by just clicking on the faces of this mass that we brought in. And that way, once this is all these elements, you have a proper framing system, and this is probably going to be smaller than 9 inches. We're just talking about insulation more or less, and some kind of flatting. You can then build that framing system up. You can design brackets or just ball joints that we can snap onto these points. And we can also edit this family to have material aspects where we can change its material properly. But, the reason why I'm choosing to do a proper roof on the top here is mostly because containing the space below, if we're doing a room with volume, if we made all of this roof out of a mass, that won't read as a roof into REVIT. It won't know what to do, and it won't calculate the volume well below it. But this also gives us the freedom to start looking at sloped glazing possibilities, and where you can switch between the different glazing types that you might want on this project. And you can also switch to solid roofs too as needed. But it's just good to be in the roof category. The totally wrong direction. A little bit. Alright, and that's the basics for using an adaptive point family to piece together a frame to then either put a solid or glass roof on for this kind of scissoring folded structure.